Have you ever noticed how some people attract strong reactions just by being unapologetically themselves? In a world that often prizes conformity and predictability, those who embrace their true nature can sometimes face unexpected resistance. Meet the Sigma female. Independent, unconventional, and often misunderstood. Despite their calm and authentic approach to life, Sigma females frequently encounter criticism and negativity. But what is it about their unique qualities that unsettles others? In this video, we'll dive into 9 surprising reasons why Sigma females might challenge the status quo and why their individuality, though sometimes polarizing, is truly something to admire. If you're ready to explore this intriguing dynamic, be sure to subscribe to the Sigma Sisterhood channel and join us on this journey of empowerment and self-discovery. Let's dive in. 1. Unpredictable behavior, the enigma that defies control. Imagine trying to navigate a roller coaster blindfolded. That's what interacting with a Sigma female can feel like for those who value predictability. Sigma females are often seen as enigmatic because they operate on their own terms, not adhering to the conventional social scripts that many others follow. This unpredictability isn't about being chaotic or reckless. It's about living authentically and responding to situations based on their own values and instincts rather than external expectations. For some, this unpredictability is refreshing, a break from the monotony of routine interactions. However, for those who thrive on control or need to feel they have the upper hand, it can be deeply unsettling. They struggle to pin down a Sigma female's next move, leading to frustration or even fear. In a world where many people find comfort in routine and predictability, Sigma females challenge this by keeping others on their toes. Their actions are driven by inner conviction rather than societal norms, which can be both intimidating and inspiring to those around them. 2. Disregard for titles and status, redefining respect. In a society that often equates status with worth, Sigma females stand out by refusing to be impressed by titles or hierarchical positions. To them, respect is something earned through character, not something automatically granted by a title. They see everyone as equals. Whether you're a CEO or a janitor, you'll receive the same level of respect from a Sigma female. This egalitarian approach can rub some people the wrong way, particularly those who have worked hard to achieve their status and expect recognition. They might interpret a Sigma female's lack of deference as disrespect or rudeness. But for Sigma females, it's not about diminishing others' achievements. It's about valuing the person behind the title. Their focus is on authenticity and genuine connection, not on superficial symbols of success. This can be a hard pill to swallow for those who place great importance on status and expect others to do the same. In essence, Sigma females challenge the idea that worth is tied to what you've achieved, rather than who you are. 3. Brutal honesty, the courage to speak truths. Others avoid. Honesty is often touted as a virtue, but when faced with unfiltered truth, many people would rather avoid it. Sigma females are not afraid to speak their minds, even when it means saying something uncomfortable. They don't sugarcoat their words to spare feelings because they believe in the power of truth, even when it's difficult to hear. In social settings, this straightforwardness can make them stand out, sometimes in a way that's not entirely welcomed. While some people appreciate their honesty, others may feel exposed or embarrassed by it. They might label Sigma females as blunt or insensitive, missing the point that this honesty is a form of respect and care. Sigma females are willing to say what needs to be said, even if it disrupts the status quo, because they value authenticity over superficial harmony. This can make them a polarizing presence, respected by those who value truth and feared by those who prefer comfort over reality. 4. Prioritizing logic over emotions. The rational mind at work. For Sigma females, logic and reason often take precedence over emotions, especially when making decisions. They're wired to think critically and evaluate situations based on facts rather than feelings. This doesn't mean they lack empathy. It's just that they believe solutions are often found through rational thinking rather than emotional responses. In personal interactions, this logical approach can be misunderstood. People who are more emotionally driven might perceive Sigma females as cold or detached, simply because they don't respond in the expected emotional ways. For instance, in a situation where others might offer sympathy, a Sigma female might instead offer practical advice on how to resolve the issue. This difference in approach can create a sense of distance, making it harder for some to connect with them on an emotional level. However, this rational mindset is also what makes Sigma females incredibly reliable and consistent in their actions. They don't get swayed by fleeting emotions or external pressures. They make decisions that are thought through and grounded in reality. While this might not always lead to warm, fuzzy interactions, it ensures that their actions are purposeful and meaningful, even if they're sometimes misunderstood. 5. Questioning the surface. The depth of curiosity. Sigma females are naturally curious. They don't just accept things at face value, they dig deeper, seeking to understand the underlying truths behind appearances. This investigative nature often leads them to question everything, from societal norms to personal interactions, not out of distrust but out of a desire for deeper understanding. This tendency to question can make others uncomfortable, especially those who prefer to keep things simple or who have something to hide. People often expect their words or actions to be accepted without scrutiny, so when a Sigma female starts probing, it can feel like an invasion of privacy or a challenge to their integrity. But for Sigma females, this is just a part of who they are, intellectual explorers who aren't satisfied with shallow explanations. Their quest for truth is driven by a desire for authenticity, both in themselves and in others. They want to understand the world on a deeper level, and this often means challenging the status quo or questioning established norms. While this can lead to misunderstandings, it also sets them apart as individuals who value depth over superficiality. 6. Nonconformity. The courage to walk a different path. In a world where following the crowd is often the easiest route, Sigma females stand out by choosing their own path. They aren't afraid to question societal norms and refuse to conform to rules that don't align with their personal beliefs. This nonconformity is a defining trait that can make others uneasy, especially those who are comfortable within the established order. To some, a Sigma female's refusal to conform can be seen as rebellious or even arrogant, as if she believes she's above the rules that others follow. But this perception is far from the truth. Sigma females aren't out to make a statement or to challenge others. They simply prioritize their values over societal expectations. They're driven by a strong sense of self and a desire to live authentically, even if that means deviating from the norm. This independence can be intimidating to those who find security in conformity. It's easier to dislike someone who challenges the status quo than to confront the possibility that there might be another way to live. But Sigma females' nonconformity is not about rejecting others. It's about embracing their own unique path, which, while different, is just as valid. 7. Selective social circle. Quality over quantity in connections. Sigma females are discerning when it comes to their inner circle. They don't feel the need to be surrounded by a large group of people. Instead, they prioritize deep, meaningful connections with a select few. This careful curation of their social circle can make some people feel excluded or inadequate, especially if they've tried to forge a closer bond and were met with a reserved demeanor. To those on the outside, this selectivity might seem snobbish or aloof, as if the Sigma female is placing herself above others. But in reality, it's simply about valuing quality over quantity in relationships. Sigma females invest in relationships that are genuine and that resonate with their true selves. They're not interested in superficial connections or being liked by everyone. They want to connect with those who truly understand and appreciate them. This discernment can lead to misunderstandings, especially in social situations where inclusivity is expected. People might misinterpret a Sigma female's preference for solitude or small groups as a lack of interest or as a personal slight. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Sigma females simply value authentic connections, and are willing to wait for the right people to come into their lives. 8. Reserved communication style, the power of silence. In a world that often values extroversion and constant communication, Sigma females stand out with their reserved approach to interaction. They don't feel the need to fill every silence with chatter. Instead, they choose their words carefully and speak only when they have something meaningful to contribute. This preference for silence can be misunderstood as secretiveness or a lack of interest in others. For more extroverted individuals, this quiet demeanor can be puzzling or even unsettling. They might assume that Sigma females are hiding something or are simply not interested in engaging with others. But in reality, Sigma females are simply more comfortable with solitude and introspection. They believe that actions often speak louder than words and prefer to let their deeds do the talking. This reserved communication style is not about being distant or secretive. It's about being intentional. Sigma females don't engage in small talk just for the sake of it. They seek deeper, more meaningful conversations. While this might make them seem mysterious to some, it's also a reflection of their thoughtful and deliberate approach to life. 9. Challenging authority, the unyielding quest for justification. Sigma females have a strong sense of independence and are not easily swayed by authority figures who demand unquestioning obedience. They are not rebellious for the sake of rebellion. Rather, they require evidence and logical justification before they can align themselves with any directive. This insistence on critical thinking can put them at odds with those in positions of power who expect compliance without question. This trait can be frustrating for authority figures who are accustomed to being followed without pushback. To them, a Sigma female's questioning might be seen as insubordination or as a challenge to their authority. However, from the Sigma female's perspective, it's simply a matter of ensuring that their actions align with their values and beliefs. They're not interested in blind loyalty. They want to understand the reasoning behind the rules before they follow them. This critical approach can lead to tension, especially in environments where conformity is valued over individual thought. But for Sigma females, this is a non-negotiable aspect of their identity. They believe in living with integrity, even if that means challenging the status quo. While this might not always make them popular, it ensures that their actions are always true to themselves. Sigma females are often misunderstood, not because they are intentionally elusive, but because they live life on their own terms. Their unpredictability, brutal honesty, and nonconformity set them apart in a world that often values conformity and social approval. They challenge the norms by prioritizing logic over emotions, seeking depth in their relationships, and questioning authority when it doesn't align with their values. For some, this makes Sigma females intimidating or difficult to understand. But beneath their reserved exterior lies a powerful strength, an unwavering commitment to authenticity and integrity. They are not driven by a desire to fit in or be liked. They are driven by a desire to live truthfully, both to themselves and to those they choose to let into their world. This strength, while sometimes unsettling to those who don't understand it, is what makes Sigma females unique. They embody a quiet confidence that doesn't rely on external validation, and in doing so, they inspire others to question the status quo and embrace their true selves. Whether you find them fascinating or challenging, one thing is certain. Sigma females will always be true to who they are, regardless of how the world perceives them. So if you're intrigued by the enigma of the Sigma female, consider subscribing to the Sigma Sisterhood channel. Here, you'll dive deeper into understanding this remarkable personality, and perhaps even find a bit of Sigma strength within yourself.